Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Liberty Cowgirl Network. We're doing an episode of Sound Off tonight with Cowgirl D and Cowgirl Bonnie is in the house tonight. What's
Howdy,
going on,
howdy.
Cowgirl? Glad to
Oh,
see you
not
back in the
much.
saddle, girl.
You too, friend. Glad you recovered from that illness that took you down for about 3 weeks. That was no joke, wasn't it?
It was not, and the funny thing about it is, I still feel like it's lingering, but mainly
Mm-hmm.
it's gone. But boy, we
Yeah,
really, need to get out prayers tonight. There's a lot of people who
that's
need
right.
prayers.
Hi,
Uh,
Bonnie.
Hello, how are you ladies?
We're
Doing
here.
good.
Hi, Power
Loving to
Girl.
see you on the Cowgirl Network.
Hello, Josh. Power Girl, I sent you the link. If you can join us, you are welcome to.
Uh,
Uh, and yeah, I could start with a prayer if you like for Chuck's
yes,
family. I
yes,
guess, well, let's
we
give them an update though. You have an update, Bonnie. I read it just when before we went up.
Um, Vicky sent me a text and she said Wyatt was asking if we could continue the prayers because they seem to be helping. And that's a hallelujah. And he wanted to thank everybody for the prayers that they've already given.
Well, let's do some more. God, I thank you for this good report. It's amazing when you work in the invisible ways that we're asking you to do. And Lord, I pray you continue to heal this boy Wyatt, give peace to Chuck and Vicky and the brothers, and give wisdom to the hospital staff and the doctors and everybody looking at his charts, his health. Just give him wisdom, Lord, and clarity on how to deal with his body and to care for it. And mostly we pray, Jesus, you're the greatest physician ever was, that you would touch his body and just completely heal it. We believe, God, but help our unbelief. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
amen. But we're going to continue to pray for her, Bonnie, and we're
Yep,
going to
you betcha.
continue Chuck's son in
Yeah.
our prayer. And hello, Josh. Hello, Joyful.
Yeah, because
Nice.
one person in the family and the body aches, and there's a lot of brothers and sisters here, and we ache for them. It's not life as usual when you end up having to rush your kid to the hospital, and we all felt that. It was like kind of jarring, yesterday morning when I heard that his son was not doing good. So it's really nice to get a praise report, and we had that about your mama too. Your mom is always in our prayers. She just keeps us on our toes, doesn't she? Right? But she's
Yes.
doing good. She's doing
And your
good. We
mama,
just
too, D. And your mama,
and my
too.
mama too. She just once in a while she needs a little attention. Not too much though. Every once in a while, So hi Jen.
Hi,
Good to
Jen.
see
If
you. I
you want
sent
to,
you the link. So
yes.
yeah. So but I know you got some really we've talked a lot and we haven't got to do a show in a while. So I did a show this morning on Humble, and I pretty much got out all my gagas. You know what I mean? I was on good and long. So I'm excited to hear about the General's report and all the things that you are specialty in, some
Well,
of my favorite stuff, right, Bonnie? We love these special
Yeah.
reports.
listen, I don't
Absolutely.
think things could get any more crazier, first of all, on all fronts. I mean, we're having a hard time tracking it and trying to piece it all together because, of course, in a lot of cases, we're being fed two different, like we always talk. We started out with two scopes and we're going to end with two scopes because
Hmm.
people are seeing things in a different way. There's what they're feeding us on the mainstream media and what all of America is watching and thinking, and what we all in the alternative media world know to be different.
Hmm.
So it again, it's a balance trying
Yeah.
to discuss these topics with people when you really, if you discuss anything, have to look through two scopes
Right.
and report both sides if we're going to be responsible with,
Sure.
putting topics out there
Yeah.
just to discuss with people. I don't think we can get any more uncertain uh, than we are right
Right.
this minute.
Can we
And
muddle up the waters anymore? I don't want to add to the muddiness of it. We're trying to sift it, add more clarity with more water, and people dilute it down and find the truth in the middle of the sandwich, as you always like to say. There's a little bit of truth and a lot of the misinformation that's out there, or it's total lies. And when people tell you they know and they've got this date and that date, it's like, okay, well, we're not listening to you anymore, right? Usually.
No. And of course, what we've always done all along is just try and be normal people that are just following events as they unfold
Right.
and going out into the open source and trying to make sense of it all, condense the information, and bring it to the general public in some
Right.
short reports because so many people, there's so many platforms and so much information that what we're trying to do is condense it all into what people are seeing, and then
Mm.
B, what the Lord has called us to do, and that's
Yeah.
look for the truth, research the truth, and report the truth to the American public. So,
And lately, I'll just add this. It's kind of a newer thing, but it's also always been, us in the background. We don't talk a lot about our personal life. I wonder if that's the Coast Guard. But the country lifestyle is what attracts a lot of us, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of us, I think, are America's heartland. We're not necessarily just doing the city life, but so the culture needs to come out too a little bit more, is what I'm trying to say. A little bit, not so much of our personal life, but our faith. How do we cook? What kind of animals do you have? How do you teach your children about morals? All of these things I think are very important right now for our culture, because otherwise it's Hollywood and mainstream and Disney. No,
right.
it never was for my family. We had a different culture, and our culture is not represented in mainstream media. I've actually been persecuted in our everyone has. If you're a Christian, you were persecuted during the vid. We're told we're not to cover our face. Our oxygen comes from God. That was, and those are sorry to say, but those go back to being some rituals that have some ties that are a little more sinister. But I don't want to go too much into all that. But when you're talking about culture, our culture is not the one that's really going to be represented through Hollywood right now. So we have to do a really good job of just showing, what is American culture to you. Thank you, Power Girl. Good to see you, honey.
Exactly. Welcome in, Power Girl. Come on up if you'd like. Hi, NC Debs. Welcome. Hi, Jen.
Well, and I
And
think
your
that's what
culture's been military all your life. You've been military. So when you tell me about military stuff, that's a lot of it's kind of new to me, but I should know more of it because that's our military. Sorry, Bonnie. I didn't want to over talk you there.
Go ahead, Bonnie.
it's all right. I was just gonna say that's
In
kind
the
of
email.
the point of all of it is under the Constitution, and what we're trying to do is rebuild the family unit is
Mm-hmm.
the most powerful with
Yeah.
God in control, and um, then rebuilding our communities up to the state level.
And you're exactly right. And I think, that I think that's what drew us all together as podcasters is that, each and every lady brings a component of goodness that's exemplary of exactly what you just described. We have to rebuild ourselves. We're taking back our country, and that means doing things in a different way. And again, there's those out there, and I truly agree with them when they say this: we got to be our brother's brother. It's about helping one another and going back to what we all learned when we were kids, just being decent to one another. So, I completely agree with you, and that's why it's nice that everybody has their own, personality. You with your uh, channel. on Bonnie's, and just being a
Mhm.
fellowship room and for people to share and pray and tell their stories. Deanna's in her going out into the community and trying to
Mhm.
educate people how to actually take action with your local boards, and Power Girl hand in hand with her in that battle. Tin trying to get out very important information on our uh, uh, earth, and
Yeah.
what's going on in our
Mhm.
environment in the natural sense. And I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy everybody just supporting one another, and even more importantly, but doing what the Lord has called us to do in this time of battle. We are all on the battlefield, and I'm going to get to this in SG Anand's report, because
Yeah.
it's important to remind people, especially when things are so bad. Hi, Mama T.
Yeah, and I want to get to. I want to. Don't want to let you. I gotta address something in chat. NC Debs. We were just having the Cowgirls on tonight, and this isn't my stream right now. It's Liberty Cowgirls, so I can't drop it for you, sweetie. But that's okay. That's okay. You can call me D. I don't mind that at all. But maybe that's up to her, sweetie. Okay, so we'll see. The link we
Right.
sent
We'll
out
open it.
privately.
We'll get through it, run through our stuff, and drop the
Yeah,
link
we'll
for
run through it, and then maybe.
anyone who
Okay.
wants to get up at the end. So yeah, it's important to note, because sometimes we all forget with all of the negativity, that's going around. And listen, we're on the front lines, and we have been for quite some time in various
Yep.
different ways of attack and so forth. That we
Yeah.
remind ourselves that the Lord called us to do this job, to disseminate this information at this time,
Hmm.
because that's what was called for. And we are
Yeah.
all warriors on this battlefield, whether
That's
we're
right.
broadcasting or whether we're in the chat room supporting the broadcasters, and
Mhm.
letting them know that what they're doing matters.
Yep.
It all matters,
Yes.
So I just wanted to make that point again,
Thank
because
you. Yeah,
I
it's
think
true.
it's so
Good
important that
point.
everyone knows what an
Yep.
important role that they have to play in this point in time in history that we're in right now.
Yeah,
History is being written, and history is being watched.
that's right.
So, it's important that we all
Yeah.
just stick to our true selves, be our brother's brother, as they say, and continue down the path that we're on to hopefully righteousness, peace, and unity.
You can come on and
In that
come.
regard.
Let her go through her stuff and see Debs, and then she's gonna drop the link for you. Okay. I don't have your email though, so I don't have a way. I'm not in the YouTube, but when she goes through all her stuff, we'll drop it, and you can join us. Okay. Don't feel rejected, love. We want you to hang out. We're gonna.
Yes.
I'm about to shut my mouth and let her go through stuff. I promise you. Bonnie's quiet. It's just me they're waiting for. Okay, it's me.
But that was all in response to Bonnie. Bonnie, don't you agree with that? I mean, we've got to
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
that first and
Totally.
foremost.
Yes.
You know,
We have to support each other through here and worldwide, though. I,
Yeah,
it's not just us going through this. We see it.
yeah, yeah.
Brazil
Brazil.
forming
Oh,
peace.
Brazil.
right? And listen, I can attest to the fact that women from other countries are looking to women over here for support and what they're
Yeah.
doing. Our voices are reaching a worldwide audience. I put this out on my Getter, and we have a special guest to join us tonight. Let me bring her in.
A cat with a
Mhm.
tinfoil hat. What?
Miss TGV.
Hello,
Welcome,
Tim.
Jen.
Hi, you
Hi,
guys.
team.
Good
I'm gonna
evening.
mute
Hi.
myself.
But yeah, we're reaching women from across uh, the world. They're in peril.
Right
They're
on.
looking
Yeah.
over here. So, we really need to, at this time, show them, that we are working to save this country. They're looking to the United States
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
to help them because they feel totally lost. They're in a much worse environment and place than we are all in. So I
Yes.
thank you, and you ladies, and for you being exemplary of and a good example for women all over the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you go with that. What's going on, Tin TV?
Oh.
Do we dare ask?
Yeah, go ahead, Dee. Tell
She's in a
'em.
mood today. I know that. She's in a mood today.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here comes Mama T. Hold on a second.
It's
We'll
in the
get
air.
Mama T here in a minute. I see her backstage.
Okay.
Hold
Mama
on
T.
one moment.
How many can you have on StreamYard? Because
I think up to 10, I think.
you, okay, yeah, because you're paying for that. Okay, so yeah, right on.
Right.
Uh-oh, who'd we just look? Mama T's internet
Hi, Mama
sucks.
T. Okay, so listen, let's get to the most important thing. That's why we're trying to give an update. And I see she's having connectivity issues, and
Okay.
there we go. Uh, to get this update out here, let's talk
Yeah,
about the
go for it.
most important thing. And I don't want to delve into it state by state by state, but I think even
Right.
on our last broadcast, we had talked about how this was going to come down. Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, Georgia, all these things are still in play, and it appears as though that
Mm-hmm.
happened now. Of course, the number one thing is, and just like we said last time, the fact that it's days and days later and we still don't have a result, that in itself should be reason to cancel this whole thing and redo it. To me, that's just a no-brainer. I mean,
Mm,
never in the history and in time, until the American people didn't react over it, did they even allow voting to continue into the next day. But they tried it
right.
as they do everything else. They
Mm-hmm.
tested it out. We accepted it. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
oppose it. And here we are today. We're
Mm,
now, we're ready, willing, and able uh, to just sit around while things are further being manipulated. And of course, there's, you know, uh, many theories why that is going
mm-hmm.
on behind the scenes. But uh, like I said, I don't want to belabor the whole show with that because I don't want to use those key words. But a lot of it is coming down to Colorado and Lauren Boebert's race. We know she's quite popular in Congress. We know that
Mm,
she ran here locally. They tried to redistrict her. She made it through that. And her opponent um, is running against her, and they're trying to say that he was beating her at first. Right now, it's a day to day thing. I think the last report I got here locally was there was a difference between 1,100 votes, uh,
wow.
which is key
Mama
because,
T says kick her out, please. Please, just boot her. Kick her out. Don't ban her. Just kick.
oh, so she can re enter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time we might ban you. No, just kidding.
I would
I'm just kidding. I love you. You got to be tough around here, okay? It's cowgirl up. You got to cowgirl up. Okay.
right.
Okay, that's it.
May
So
I?
this is a very very key race because in the big scheme of things, this is all about taking over the house. Here's Power Girl. Let me get her on here. Power Girl Productions, welcome to the house.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Hi,
for
girl.
the warm
Good to
welcome.
see you.
Hey
So
girl, hey.
so happy to be in such wonderful company this evening.
Love
Well,
you,
we're so
Good
happy
to
to
see
have
you.
you. So we decided to kick off with the just to bring you up to speed, Power Go, if you were watching, we're talking about the Big E, but we're not going into it at length. We're kind of reducing it down to a few of these key races that are going on, particularly this one in Colorado, because Liberty is from here, so I've got my eye on that here locally, and I've been following it the whole time. Because
Yeah.
interesting story that came out here. Now, just keep that in mind and set that aside for 1 second. So, the race between Loan Bobert and Adam Frisch is his name. Now, mind you, he's from Aspen. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Aspen, but this is a big place of the elite and money. And, you would think that, the number one thing, since they all have so much money and all, and they're an elite class, uh, that they would want somebody with a reputation of integrity. This is a gentleman that allegedly, supposedly, let me put that in, and it was running on air on television for several weeks leading up to this big contest, but he was allegedly caught having an affair on his wife in a storage locker up in Aspen. And this is who we want in our government. I mean, are
A
you kidding me?
storage
That
locker.
alone in itself
What
is,
a high class guy, huh?
I
yeah,
know.
real,
I was
lots
gonna
of
say
classier people.
he was slumming. He was practicing slumming that night.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
That's pretty low
So,
class.
that being the case, though, it's been, because we all know that the fix is in here. There's no
Mm-hmm.
doubt about it. This is
Mm-hmm.
no different than California. The environment and the players, they're all the
Mm-hmm.
same, different location.
Yeah.
A story comes out just the other day that they have proof now that they brought illegal immigrants to vote here in this state. Okay.
Wow.
Now, they
Really?
gave them fraudulent state ID cards, some of them even up to three. And let me give you the backstory of how this was discovered. Now, most are saying, why did this contest even happen? Why did it happen? And what we're finding out and is already being talked about is that they did deploy the U.S. Cyber Command
Oh
uh,
wow.
as
Cool.
part of this election. And, we all saw, and again, I have some graphs we'll show, but I mean, it was broadcast for all to see. We didn't have to have a special encryption. And the people who had the special encryption and that were invited to see what the big guys saw. And when I say big guys, the big podcasters, influencers, whatever you want to call them. A few of them were invited. They just got to see all 50 states at once. We got to see the same thing. If you tuned in to what we broadcast the night before, was the True Crime Desk that Lindell TV
Hmm.
had. And I watched that for hours because I was hooked on that. You could see it happening in real time. And you're sitting here going, holy crap,
Wow.
this is really taking place for America to see. Uh,
Again.
Go ahead, Dee.
Just again.
Yeah, again, for the second time around. So we're all seeing this now the second time around, except we're seeing it in real time. So it doesn't even
Yeah.
matter what the donkey film had to show us. It doesn't matter who produced that, who brought it forward with those Greg Phillips and Catherine, what's her name from. All of that is even mute at this point because we now all watched it in
Mhm.
real time.
Yeah.
Okay. It was anyone who doesn't think that there weren't military operations going on. Again, all I can do is implore you, because everybody's at a different level, to just backtrack and get some more information and some more history on where we're at in time right now. But the U.S. Army Cyber Command was analyzing this in real time. And, I feel very confident in saying that. Now, do I know that
Yeah.
for a fact? No, I don't. What I can tell you is I've seen several reports of this. Uh, and I'm signing on to it. I don't mind putting my name behind it because they do have the proof. Again, all by the book. By the book
Right.
means, and we all know this in our consciousness. The law of war manuals. We have a legal structure in place, bad as it may be, that we have to follow according to the Constitution. There is a law of the land, and this is no different, and these operations
Mhm.
are no different. It's just the interpretation of the law that's going to be used, and most will concur and say that we are going by the law of war manuals. Now, everyone is just seeing that one blue one that's out there, but there's actually several laws of war manuals that are out there, depending upon the operation. But back, I digress. Let me get back on track. So what happened was they bust the illegals into, and this happened in several cities across America. I'm just telling you what happened in mine because there's facts already out about what occurred here, and it is out in the media, and law enforcement is involved. So
Mhm.
they discovered this, Cyber Command discovered this. Okay, and this is very important that they not only discovered it, that's an acknowledgement that there actually was a military operation going on. uh, they discovered illegals dressed in the same clothes. They did their own investigation into this, got a
Mm.
description of the guy. So, what did they do? What does
Mm.
one thing? What would you do in that particular instance? Well, they did what everybody else would do when you find out that somebody's committing election fraud. They went to their local sheriff. So we
Mm.
have Cyber Command now taking this information of fraud directly to the sheriff down in Pueblo, Colorado, which is 30 minutes down the road from me. Uh, so, what does this do? It certainly tests the integrity of the sheriff now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes, it
It
does. So
does.
I
And
find
you
that
better hope you have
fact
a.
very
Yep.
interesting. Okay.
Yes, it
Again,
is.
strategic moves of military operations that are
Yeah.
going on. Okay.
Hmm.
Just trying to put it all together for people. This is how it works. They took it to the local sheriff. They showed what they had to the sheriff. The sheriff immediately said, the pictures are grainy. We really can't be for certain what the IDs that he's presenting say, because that's grainy too. But they had enough of a description where they left that with the sheriff, and the sheriff promised to look into it. Well,
Hmm.
lo and behold, guess what? The sheriff came through.
Did he?
The sheriff then contacted the cyber command and told them that they found the guy. They found the
What?
guy that was in the camera, and he was actually still wearing the same clothes. And they were able to
Yeah.
bring him
Oh,
in,
funny.
question him. Okay, and here's how it worked.
I love it.
Well, the guy's an immigrant,
Doesn't even give them a new pair of clothes. They don't even give these people a second pair of clothes. I mean,
well,
how many
listen,
days went by?
the guy wasn't doing too bad on his shoes because they said he was wearing $100 pair of brand new tennis shoes. And guess where they found him staying? The sheriff found him at the local mission there, the homeless mission.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so once the police
Wow.
took him into custody, they were able to question him. During that
Interesting.
questioning, here's how the process works, because subsequently he did confess to everything that was going on. They did find three different IDs from the state identification office with him. Okay, they were able to get the whole truth from him. He was initially given $500. He was bussed into town. He was told to go to the mission to stay overnight. He was told where to go, where to vote, and who to vote for.
Wow.
On voting day, before his vote, so he had $500 initially till voting day, and voting be prior to voting. Showing up on the day of voting, he was given $1,000, and then subsequent to placing his entry, then he was to get paid another 1,500, which he did not get afterwards. So that was the whole operation that went down. That's
Yeah.
documented, public news.
If I had that kind of money, I might be able to get people to move around here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So we know that he's not the only one. Okay. They're told that they
Right.
brought these
Sure.
people in. By now, guess who's, I'm going to just put this all together with a bow now.
Okay.
Let's bring Lauren Boebert back into this. Guess whose district this affects and what votes it affects?
Lauren
Lauren
Boebert.
Boebert. Where this happened is in her district.
Of
Of
course.
So
course it did.
you don't even need the digital footprint for that.
Right.
You
Yeah,
can
it
make this
got
stuff
easier
happen.
this time for them to really streamline. All the same states were called, flipped live again. Yeah.
Right.
It's getting really obvious, guys. It's getting
Yeah.
super obvious. You think the
Right.
normies are going to figure it out? How long is it going to take them?
Right. So anyone out there who thinks that people are just in this because they're sore losers or they want a certain side to win, no, we are trying to save our country and take back our republic. It doesn't matter whether you're red or blue, what this
No.
operation and this going forward with doing this last week and getting people to the polls was all designed to shake out all of the operators that are playing both sides. Okay.
Absolutely. And can I add to that? Um,
Absolutely.
even though Texas went as planned, I guess, sort of, um, Governor
Awesome.
Gray Abbott is calling for an investigation into the widespread in Harris County.
Did he won, didn't he?
Yes, and that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. It doesn't matter though. It's
Right.
if it's going on, and it needs to be fixed, with no matter
Yes.
how it's turning out. And he
Well, that.
recognizes that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and D Dog came on a stream when I was on. I think Power Girl was on with me. We were talking. Maybe I can't remember, but he was Rob Ryder. Rob with three B's. Rob Ryder's within the last week. The Big E one is a 20-minute 19-minute video. And D Dog was like, "Hey, did you watch that first 5 minutes?" And then that was it. And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You need to watch the rest." So I watched the rest, and it's a lot about that, and it speaks to fixing that. So I'll try to find that and drop that for you guys if I can get in there. But yeah, I just wanted to add that because that's a powerful video. I think you watched it too, didn't you, Power Girl? One of us, we were gonna watch it.
I
Well,
did. Yeah,
did you
I
watch
watched
it? Yeah.
some of it. Yeah, and there
Yeah.
was this is the one I was really intrigued by is military justice our relief? That's an
Mm,
hour-long video,
okay. On Rob
but it's a
Ryder.
very interesting topic.
Was that Rob
Yes,
Ryder
that
as
was
well?
Rob Ryder,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Right on.
And are you talking about the Oath Keeper video or the sheriff video? Or the
No.
election mayhem?
Yeah, we got to
Election
watch that word.
mayhem.
We can't say that word. We can't say that
Oh,
word.
Yeah,
The big
crap.
E. Yeah,
Okay,
that's okay. That's
okay.
okay.
You're right.
The big E. I'll show you. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
I'm
it is.
dropping the link.
Mayhem. You
Yeah, I'm
got the link?
dropping the
Okay,
link. Yeah.
I just found it. Yeah, 5 days ago, 20 minutes, 39 seconds. Every American should watch it because D Dog is the one that recommended it. And it is the process. You see it all lining up with all the other constitutionalists. It's the sheriff, it's the sheriff, it's the sheriff all day long. It's the sheriff. And so if you have a problem with your sheriff, then this is one of the remedies we may need to be looking at, right? So that's not what this stream's about, but I just wanted to add to that because it is a remedy and people want
No,
remedy,
it
right?
is. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And listen, that is the remedy is right. And that's
yeah.
why I take my hat off to you guys. And anybody who wants to know remedy and know how to deal with these local boards and so forth needs to go over to Stand Up Humboldt 4 or what is it, Power Girl Productions, Keeper of the Flame? channel?
Yes. But you know what? Dee talks about that a lot on her channel.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
in the supporting mode right now. I'm really supporting because we've got a lot going on locally that I want to kind of keep under wraps.
Mhm.
And so I've
Yeah.
changed my mode right now. We're really trying to
Right.
support channels like your channel and Bonnie's channel and Tin TV, and Dee she's like,
Awesome.
get over there and go do that and do this, and she knows all the great shows. So that's what I'm trying to do right now because we got big stuff going on in Humboldt County. Hundy, we got a big
Oh man.
town hall coming up on Wednesday.
Oh man, that's in
Right.
Redway, and I didn't get invited. I did sign
I'm
up for
inviting
it.
myself. I'm gonna
Yeah, you're
show
gonna
up.
just show up. It's a free
Yep.
dinner too.
Yeah. Well,
I
I don't
signed
know.
up.
You go, girls. You
Yeah,
go,
we'll
Yeah.
check
girls.
it out.
I
We'll
love
check
you
it out.
guys.
I don't know if
Right.
I'll make it down there, but yeah,
Welcome in,
I
Jerry
want
Lee and
to.
Camille Carl. Nice to
Hi,
see you
men.
guys here tonight. Okay, so let's get back on the road. So that is all going on, and this
Yeah,
Bobert race, as well as the one, and I'm watching very closely too, in my other home state of Nevada, what's going on with
yeah.
the Miss Cortez, and I'm not going to say her name on purpose, and the Laxalt race. They're calling it for this lady, and I don't think that's the case at all. And
No.
everybody in that town who's grown up there knows that that woman is on the wrong side of the tracks, and
Mhm.
there's been absolute manipulation with the contest as there is in all these other ones. So I think what we're seeing it play out. We can all see it very clearly because we're just simply at a more advanced state of information than some others who are new might be. So I agree that a lot of people are waking up to, hey, what the heck is going on
Mhm, sure.
with this thing? And we'll have to wait to see what happens, which brings us fast forward to, uh, the last thing the big T man had to say with there's
Oh
some
yeah.
big announcement coming tomorrow.
Right. What's that
Now,
about?
I think in the state of angriness that the public is in right now over the state of this contest that just took place, I don't think he would be uh, really, let me just use the word, dumb enough announce his candidacy for a race nobody wants to hear about right now. That's
No.
just my thoughts. What he could be
Yeah.
announcing, I don't know. But what do you ladies think?
Cowgirl.
No
10. 10,
comment.
you've been
I couldn't
quiet.
ag-
10.
I couldn't agree
Okay.
more, Liberty
Yeah.
Cowgirl. I could not
Yeah.
agree more. If I've been saying all along, all week, that as soon as he
Mhm.
announces, very interesting his timing, and if he dares to announce for candidacy in 2024, because seriously, if we don't have free and fair elections, we don't have a country. And so,
No.
what does he think is going to happen in 2 years? And so, he can't possibly be that narcissistic. There has to be something else going on. But yeah, nobody wants to hear that. I really appreciate you putting it in those words. That's exactly how I felt.
No, that's exactly my personal. And again, they're just my personal. I don't want to hear it. I don't think anybody does. I think everybody's in shock, in disbelief. Now, some people are in shock. I'm angry, but I'm not shocked
Yeah.
because we
Right.
actually
No.
had a show where we went on the day before this big contest and said, yeah, you have to go. And here's the terrible thing about it. You actually do need to put in your uh,
Entry.
entry.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, you're not going to be happy with the outcome. And here we are. So, from that standpoint, I'm not shocked, but I definitely am angry and would be angry if he was that thoughtless to make an announcement like that on such a day when it's very obvious to the world that there has been fraud
Yeah.
with this whole
That's a
process.
bad word. That's a bad word. Watch yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We're on
Is
your
that one
channel.
of the words? Okay.
10
I
just
mean,
lost her channel, you guys. We need her channel, her number 2 channel. We need her number 2 link dropped, please. Is there a mod? Oh, we don't have mods. That's what I was mentioning. We need to get mods. And
Can you give out the wrench, D?
you can't. No, I can't, honey. You'll have to do that another time. But please go to Tin TV 2. Is that what you named it? Are you here, Tin?
I'll go
Yeah.
grab it.
I'm here. I'm just.
Can you grab it? Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm gonna grab
Power
it.
Girl will get it and she'll put
I
it
I
in.
get
have
it
a
for
small
tin.
theory about
I
this,
got
but I'll wait till
tin.
everyone else is done. Bonnie.
Tin
and-
TV 2. 2 is in the
Yes.
number 2.
Yeah.
Two,
So,
number 2. Yeah, we
yeah.
needed
Number
to drop that.
2.
So it's.
There's only one Tin TV, but we'll do number 2.
Yeah, I can't believe they. Yeah, there's.
It's
Yeah.
a burn. It
Yeah.
hurts, don't it? It sucks.
I'm a little mad right now. Like the
Yeah,
mad,
that's why she's in a mood.
the mad
That's why
part
she's in a
kind of
mood.
kicked in this afternoon
Yeah.
because first I was in. Well, I was in at like reverse of the 5 stages. First I was like bargaining, and I'm like denying it, and we watching it. I'm sure I
It's like
said too much, and
you
now
didn't lose your channel, though. You didn't lose your channel, so it'll be back.
but it's very,
That's good.
very close to it. So
Oh, yeah.
Krista sent a message and she said it's time to rumble. So we'll do Tin TV.
We'll
for
follow
Rumble.
you there, babe.
We're
Guess
gonna-
what? Guess what, you guys? I got to tell you something. This shocked me. I found it out today. I went to Rumble and I looked, and one of my last week's video that was goodbye mainstream media, was never nice knowing you, 499 views. I started rewatching it. It's crackly. It's one of the worst streams I've ever had sound wise. But that's huge. Mostly I get 30 or 40 at the most, maybe. So 500 on Rumble for
Wow.
one video. I'm going, well, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
have a theory about tea when everyone's done, though. Did you say
Okay,
what you
dude.
thought?
Give it your opinion about tea, and then let's not forget the point you guys just made. I want to talk about that next. Is this
Okay.
whole media thing deal
Okay.
going on?
Bonnie and Tin, did you guys give your theory, or do you have a theory, or you're just done? No, Bonnie was maybe going to say something.
I feel the same way. If anything is mentioned about 24, then that would condone what has happened.
Right.
Is that the right word?
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, and most are even saying it's an acknowledgement of the conceding.
Yes.
Yeah, and he didn't do that. He never's done
No.
that.
Exactly.
Tin, do you got a theory what he's going to talk about tomorrow? Oh, are you done, Bonnie? I'm sorry. I was just kind of moving along for Liberty. I get bossy.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
I
He's trying to help a girl out.
I don't know. I'm just like miffed at everything right
Okay, pass.
now. Sorry.
I'm just kidding. You
Well,
got
I
it.
think I spoke my mind last night,
Yeah,
and that was
okay.
the problem too much about the erection. And we tried to make it funny, talk about a blue pill, everything,
Right.
But,
Yeah.
we all spoke our mind last night. We all feel the very same way that the ladies
Yeah.
on the panel do. And
Yeah.
whether it's Agent J, Krista, myself, it doesn't matter. They are watching. They want to clamp down on us talking. They don't want us to get along.
Right.
Don't want us to get along. They want us to be doing our own thing. It's all about me, not being a group.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
That's too bad. We're going to love anyway. And not every moment and not every day.
Yep.
I might go back my time to Liberty Cowgirls. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No, listen, we're upset for you. We're upset every time somebody's channel gets taken down.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're living in the United States of America. We're living under tyranny, and this is part of it. What, we can't say certain words anymore? I mean, this is a utopia, for Christ's sake.
Seriously.
It's not funny. Okay, so I'll say what I think. I have a theory. I don't know what he's going to say tomorrow, but I'll tell you this, and I don't know if you got to look into it, Liberty Cowgirl or Pow Girl, or any, if I've mentioned it to all of you, but one of the last photos that was taken by T in the Oval Office had Samuel Jackson behind him. And if you look up the history of Samuel Jackson, He was not the declared president for, I believe it was 4 months. It could have been 14 months, but I think it was only 4 months. That the a past contest was Big F, okay, and then it was fixed. Trump having that in being the last photo of him, I mean, does the guy do anything coincidentally? No. So my theory is holding that I have no idea what he's going to talk about tomorrow, but I know for what I thought I knew about T, he was not going to go out a loser with his legacy to a potato head like Biden. That's the only thing I can really rest my head on.
Right. Well, I don't know what the
That's very
announcements.
well said.
Right. I don't know what the announcement's going to be either, but if it's something big, we'll all have to uh, get together and
Yeah.
see what it is. It's anybody's guess, but it's being billed as is. If you listen to anything tomorrow, you need to listen to that. So
Who's airing it? Who's going to air? Is he on Rumble?
Oh, sorry. Maybe that's another thing that upsets me. It's because Agent J was waiting for Mr. T to talk for weeks now, okay? And we were going to go live, and now,
you can do it on Telegram, though, can't you?
Yeah, but then Agent J down, too. It's a group thing. Ooh.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, Tin. They did that on purpose. Remember the erection. The first one in 2020, they did October 15th. I'll never forget the day when they just swiped all of those fantastic content creators right off of YouTube. They just, you should consider it a high compliment.
It is, sweetheart. You know it is. Camo said T posted today that hopefully it will be a historic announcement.
Well,
I think so. You know what? You make a good point, D. There's no way he could possibly be that dumb. Like, that's not he's not going to announce his candidate. Something big is going to happen. It has to be. We're there. I mean, we're there. We've lost our country. This is two known erections that have been seriously soft, right? That have been very wrong. And this is it's been going on for a long time.
Right. And let me respond to that too thing, because, there's a lot of talk about that too, with people who are seeing this on a whole nother level. Things have to happen twice. Okay, it's happened twice. What now? Take action. This is where people are at. Okay, you said it had to happen twice. Everybody laughed at that and this and that, but here we are.
Yeah.
And
is it that fool me once, fool me twice stuff? So that really, it's got to get so rubbed into some people's faces. Myself, I could take the one, but maybe the liver, farts or whatever. Maybe they needed it twice. I don't know, but it's just like, oh.
Yeah,
I love you, Tim.
Well, let's get into what real quick here. Let me just interject what General McInerney had to say on the general reports, and I'll note it to say that he's the only retired general that came out and spoke this week. So, I don't know where everybody else was, but that is always an indicator to me that things are happening. Covert operations are happening and people are mum. But General McInerney did come out again this week to put the following information out. And again, back to the race in Nevada. He said that through the hammer and scorecard, we all know what hammer and scorecard is, that 30,000 entries were stolen from Adam Laxalt in Nevada. This is how
that's a lot.
This lady, yes. He's saying there were 37,506 stolen from Masters in that important race over there. And he said also Mark Fincham had votes stolen from him. And obviously Carrie Lake down in Arizona is having votes stolen from her.
Obviously, to the whole world.
right, over 38,000 and more and counting. Uh, so
How many thousand? I'm sorry. How many?
over 38,000 so far.
Um,
And, this was Saturday. We're already
mhm.
to Monday. But he
Yeah.
said that, those entries were stolen digitally. Uh,
Okay.
they don't want, and of course, we're seeing it happen. They don't want the R's to win the House or the Senate. And then he posed a question to everybody, and I want to get to this guy in a minute. He's saying, "Where's Mitch McConnell?
Yeah.
Uh,
Where is he?
where's McCarthy? Uh,
Yeah.
the
Where is he?
Speaker of the House, Kevin?
Yeah.
Where are those two guys at? And why aren't they throwing a fit? Again, we're seeing the rhinos expose themselves, you know.
Again.
Uh,
Yep.
so he said
Again.
again. He said that in addition to using this hammer and scorecard, that they definitely manipulated the mail-in contest, and this allowed them to, because they knew they were going to be inundated the day of. So this allowed them to analyze these things and be able to respond more quickly to what the gap might be that they were going to, basically in lay terms, how they were going to pad the contest, so to speak. Hey, Willie D. And he said also, while this is going on, that they are getting ready to pass their $1 trillion new Green Deal thing.
Oh, of course they are. So
Uh,
they can pay all the counties.
yeah, behind the scenes. So
Oh gosh.
he
Hope
said,
everybody's buying silver right now.
exactly. Uh, so they also emphasized with Mary Fanning from AmericanReport.com, and she's actually their executive producer of that show also. But they're saying that this is actually, absolutely the uniparty taking form here,
Yeah.
and that they've laundered a lot of money into Ukraine. And I think we have a report,
Oh yeah.
some of that money laundering. But we also saw a big crypto company go down. Uh,
FTX.
They're all down. They
yes.
are all down.
Well,
Yeah.
just a couple of oddball ones. Jay said that seem to be going up, but he's just like he's not a financial advisor, but he's just like hold 'em right now. This is a hold 'em stage, and for a few weeks till we see what happens. So, and I
Hmm.
trust Jay like regarding that, but he's not a financial dude either. But he said there are a few of them that have gone up, but they're weird ones. Sorry.
Yeah, the
Right. No one
FX,
knows,
I think
right?
they
No
call
one
it
really knows.
FX
Oh,
something.
FTX, the FTX thing.
Yeah.
FTX is the one that got that kid
Busted.
Sam Bankman Fried.
Stephanie, back off. We got her right now, okay?
Oh well, no, she's trying to
I'm
fix.
just teasing.
She's
I'm
trying
just
to give
teasing.
me emotional support right now, you guys. I'm
Oh,
kind of
I
mad.
love you, Stephanie. I'm just teasing you.
But back to
But
the
now,
FTX, that Sam
yeah,
kid, was the one that
yeah.
propped up this coin, and then in turn they were using it through the unicorn country, and then it was going back to the people in the blue over here, like trying to keep it in code. But and then so he filed bankruptcy about 4 weeks ago, and then a couple days ago, some backdoor hacker went in there and cleaned house, just like the Grinch. Didn't even leave an ornament.
And Ken, I heard it was $1 billion.
Yeah, or more, like a bill something. I'm not sure the actual number, but yeah, they cleaned.
I heard Tom Brady was involved in it because Snafu had a meme of him
Well, he
looking
was
old. playing football to make up for his FTX, or he just was invested in it a lot. Maybe I
Well,
shouldn't
he
say I
did
heard that.
commercials. A lot of
Yeah, I did. He?
a lot of the big sports players and people
Mhm.
in Hollywood, they were backing
Yeah,
it up. And so of course a lot of people like you and I that wouldn't know any better, I Tom Brady said that, well maybe I'll look into it,
right.
because if
Right.
you're not awake, you're watching sports, we know those are rigged, okay? But the people that aren't awake, they're like, oh, kind of like that.
Yeah.
What's that dude that I think is so cute? Magnum PI dude. He's pushing,
Tom Selleck. Oh
yeah,
yeah, the
he's pushing
second
the
reverse
reverse
mortgages.
mortgage. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't do that either. That's stupid.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No, don't do that. It's bad.
but if you
Right.
We're
didn't
not
know
financial
any better,
advisors here.
And
sorry.
I'll tell you what the biggest story in sports right now is, which they're not even focusing on because they're, of course, putting people under the let's watch the game spell.
Mhm.
But
Right.
we could do an entire show on how many athletes have passed away in even the
Yes.
last 6 months. It's
Yep.
astonishing. That to me, if I was a sports broadcaster, would be the biggest show story on
Of
Right.
sports
course. Yeah.
television.
Soccer
But it's
players
not.
dropping dead on the field, that's not
It's
news. I
not
mean,
though.
it's nuts.
It
It's
isn't.
Right,
insane.
right. Hundreds
It's
and
not.
hundreds of athletes. So basically, they wound up General McInerney and them, wound up their report with uh, the potato head administration. They've turned off our oil. They've
Mm,
made it so we can't grow food here.
yeah.
They're hindering our logistics, and we all know that this rail train strike is pending. And if they do that, we're in serious trouble because that's how they move. Most of the products and things for manufacturing and so forth is through our
Oh,
railway system. So it's gotten real serious, while everybody's watching football
yeah.
games on TV.
Teachers are striking too. The teachers out here are complaining they ain't making enough money. Did you hear that today, you guys? They're
No,
about striking. Yeah. Don't quote me, but yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Liberty. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm
oh
pretty
no,
sure
that's quite
that's
all right because that's
yeah,
happening too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
We've got
Pretty sure.
all this stuff happening at this very time. But
Yeah.
again, back to the general, he's making it a point of, and he comes out of nowhere. Why was John Brennan surrounded by reporters this week? Well, I
Hmm.
didn't see that. I didn't have any reports of it. In fact, the only report I have on that gentleman right there is that he's guilty of treason. He was arrested and brought to Guantanamo Bay. Now,
Really?
that's allegedly. Let me say allegedly. I can't confirm that. But if we're to believe what's been out there for months about this gentleman, that has anybody else heard about Brennan?
I
No.
haven't heard anything.
No, he's just been MIA, you know. Missing in action. So hold on, Cowgirl D will be right back. She had a
What happened? I don't know what happened. I think my husband, he's working in the bathroom on electrical. I just lost internet for a second there. Honey.
that's all right.
Anyway, sorry, folks.
We got you, girl. But
Thank
his he ended it with this. What's his message to America? Do not concede, demand audits, and do audits on everything that was sent through the mail. So there you go. There's
Yeah.
General McInerney's thoughts for the week. And again, he's the one who put out the warning to us what was going to happen, how it was going to happen, that you had to go and you would be disappointed. In fact, General Vallely told us that many weeks ago. And, I haven't heard of anything going on with him. So,
Well, Berger, I remember General Berger. He's the active general, correct? General
right.
Berger. Okay,
Now
so
let's
last I heard about him when you reported before you got sick, I remember. So it must have been 3 or 4 weeks ago. He put out a warning to the Air Force and all other armed forces that you better stop pushing the you know what. And then lo and behold, a week later, there was the Air Force, and then there was also wasn't there a separation? They were saying that the Air Force is no longer part of the armed forces, or did something like that get reported?
right, and we're gonna do a Rumble broadcast where we can show all this
Okay.
stuff on air with the share screen
Okay.
because the sad thing now that we're coming straight from YouTube, uh we all know that we're being censored over here, and
Yeah.
there's just certain things I don't even want to take any chances of anything. We're almost not safe with simple dialogue anymore. So
Right.
yeah, we do have
Pathetic.
to format the show in a different way when we're staying exclusive over here. But you're absolutely right. Um, and
So
it
he's busy with those armed branches that were warned to stop pushing it, and then there was they are getting. I think that's when it's quiet, there are things being dealt with. That's how it is in my life, right, Power
right.
Girl? When
Well,
we're quiet, you better be looking out.
Exactly.
so that's that. Now, what I do have, and all y'all are going to want to weigh in after I give you this information.
Thought my mic was on.
Uh, we know that there's things going on in the military with the point you just made, Dee, with the separation going
Yeah.
on, meaning Space Force detached itself from the Air Force, I believe, and
Okay.
so on and so forth. We'll give those details. I don't exactly have them in front of me, but that goes hand in hand with this. I had said on the last broadcast, we'll get to in the next broadcast, maybe a couple of people that have allegedly been arrested. So let me just tell you
Mhm.
about a couple of interesting couple of those people and how we see the division in the military, which has been taking place. And we know that we've seen arrests going on in the military. So we wound that up with this is a shakedown internally inside the military of bad operators via these covert uh, ops that are going
Mhm.
on. So we knew that this mid-range contest that just happened was going to shake out some of these military people who are bad because they expected the big red wave like everybody else did. So they were very supportive of Mr. T and what was going on in that respect. When it occurred the opposite in what the general public is seeing now, because of course the FRAUD has not been called out yet, publicly anyway. Um, they now see that the other side is going to maintain, or they think they're going to maintain control of the House and the Senate. And now their gooses are cooked because they were supporting Big T and now they're on their way out. So what did we have take place as a result of that? Well, number one, and I'm only going to cite three here today, and we'll follow up on others when we have more time in a separate broadcast on Rumble. But this is huge because this is stuff taking place that nobody's talking about out there. We have the U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General Lori Robinson. Now, she's the vice commander of Langley Air Force Base.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Yes.
she sent an email to the Secretary of State, Lloyd Austin.
Lloyd
Okay,
Austin. I've heard his name, yeah.
okay, she's one of these top military leaders now. She knows, what's going to happen. But she wrote an email to him that said that she nor persons under her command had authority to question the big contest results or this current administration's rightful leadership of this nation. She said she was coerced into supporting a dissident military and would accept her punishment. Okay, so this is a top U.S. military commander
Hmm.
going to the current administration, which we all know who the real bad guys are, and
Hmm.
now begging for mercy from them, and she's willing to accept her punishment for supporting the big T. Does this make any sense? The vice commander of Langley Air Force Base? Okay,
I,
so
I can't even imagine what
no,
that's
it
about.
makes no
I
sense
don't even know what
whatsoever.
to say. Yeah.
Yeah, other than she was an operative to start with. Okay, so
Right.
that's just one.
Well, there was that other female that you reported on. We reported on that was arrested for downloading some bad Jew stuff onto T's computer in Mar-a-Lago. She had Russian ties.
Right. And, evidently collectively, uh, they were basically saying that they made a judgment in error and they're bound by an oath to support the commander in chief, which they now believe is the current administration based on the results of this last contest. And he's saying it was a lapse of judgment and for the Secretary of Defense to please forgive him. But General David D. Thompson, the Vice Chief of Space Operations from U.S. Space Force, and we reported on him, Deanna,
Yeah,
on our show when we went over who's in charge of Space Force.
right.
Here's one of the guys shaking out. Remember, at that time, I
Hmm.
reminded people we're going to bring all these generals forward, but we
Yep.
personally don't know who is good and who is bad. Some of them might end up being on the bad side. And here we have one, yet another one coming out of Space Force with General David D. Thompson, who's the Vice Chief of Space Operations. And then the last one we have is the U.S. Navy Admiral, Admiral Joey B. Dodgen. Now, he's a commander of the Navy Reserve Force Command in Norfolk, Virginia. And what he said uh, to General Berger is that he was in violation of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 94, committing mutiny and treason. He said he knows he'll be court martialed, but he said that, and he put it back on General Berger, that General Berger did a good job of trying to convince him that T was a rightful commander in chief. So here we go again. I'm going to reiterate it for the fourth or fifth time. There is a war within the Pentagon. Okay, and all
Yeah,
of these separate incidents are proving it
right,
and
right.
shaking out the bad military guys. I guess 20%, they have 20% of them, but the reason why I bring this forth is because people have to realize this is far more than blue or green or whatever. I mean, this is very serious accusations going on
Yeah,
in trying to apprehend covertly these people who have committed treason and have sacrificed the freedoms of our nation. It's
yeah.
huge,
It is huge. There's never been a better time to be on the right side of history, y'all. It's
right?
important. The truth has to prevail in the ultimate end. Some of us, we fight on, we don't know if we'll be vindicated. Sometimes, we see arrests, we do see things happening. If I didn't I know every one of us here has seen things happening in the last 2 years that have given us reason to believe that one narrative and some of those things, but misinformation is the information. So we really don't know what's going to happen with crypto, what's going to happen with tea, what's going to happen with America. But we got to get together in our communities. That's what we do know. That's what
Right.
we're trying to do here.
Right. And go out, research, grab the best open source information available that'll try to help bring clarity to some of the things that we're seeing happen in front of them. And everybody has to make their own discernment. Our job is not to convince people what to believe. Our job is to at least try and bring some accurate information to the table that has been researched in a condensed way to help people come to their own discernment on how they feel themselves
Yeah.
personally about everything that's going on. But another interesting arrest, and then I'll wrap it up with one last arrest because it's almost the icing on the cake. But quickly, the CEO of Moderna, which we
Oh,
know is the big pharmaceutical company, he was arrested.
was he?
Yes, he was. And it was actually in a sting operation. And I'm looking at my notes on the next arrest. Let me try to remember the.
What?
He actually is in another country. He was supposed to meet with the head of the CDC here in America. She is already being cautious because she feels like she's being watched by military intelligence, which she is, and said that she would not leave the country because she was feared that she would be arrested or taken into custody. So he wanted to meet with her. He decided to come here to meet with her, came to Washington, D.C. They were supposed to have dinner at a restaurant. Now, mind you, the whole time, cyber intelligence, okay, is tracking all of this. Again, covert operations are happening.
Well,
Uh,
did you see Camo's? Was that what you were saying? What about Power Girl? Did you read
Yeah.
Camo's
Yeah,
comment?
Camel's.
You want to
Yeah.
read it? You want to read it?
It's Camel Carl says there are large white government buses full of soldiers right now in DC. Seen 3 sources confirm it.
And I
yes,
like that about Carl. He always gets 3 sources.
Yes.
yes, you have to. I
You do
wouldn't
have
bring anything out on this channel if I didn't at least know that it came from
to.
3 or 4 even places.
Yeah. We've
Uh,
heard about these buses in DC before too, right?
right.
But I don't. Yeah.
So they took this gentleman into custody at this meeting, uh, at
The
this
head of.
restaurant while
Yeah.
he was
Oh.
in America. The
What a
military,
bummer dinner for him, huh? He was bummed, wasn't he?
right,
Hope he didn't
right.
order a roast beef au jus sandwich like I did that one day, remember? And I
Okay.
hadn't ate all day, Power Girl.
Well, listen, let me tell you how good I am, girl. I can
Yeah.
confirm he had his appetizer.
Oh gosh. Well,
Wow.
that's a shame. Too bad he's not even a drink in him.
Seriously.
Okay, now let me tell you
Didn't
about
deserve
this.
any of it.
Right, let me tell you about this last
Yeah.
arrest, and I'll end with the
POS.
arrest on this one. But this happened on the 18th of October. Just hearing about it now, but you allegedly the U.S. military arrested the assistant secretary for intelligence and analysis under the current administration, the fake administration, and her
Oh.
name is Shannon Corliss.
Hmm.
She was actually a member of the Senior National Intelligence Service for 15 years prior to taking that at the office of the Director of National Intelligence. They call it the ODNI. So she was actually appointed under this administration to be the first intelligence community's economic security and financial executive intelligence.
That's a
Uh,
mouthful title. I'm sorry. Could you
yeah,
repeat
it
that
is a
again?
mouthful title, and it's meant to be that because it's very confusing. So, what's the gist of it? Well, she served under the this all deals with her job at the Treasury. Uh,
Mm. Oh.
Evidently, she has confessed now that her and others, and more importantly, the Secretary of the Treasury, Miss Janet Yellen, and again, allegedly, people, uh, embezzled tens of millions of dollars for free for a fee. They were we're back to this money laundering
Yeah.
operation again. Another way they launder money.
Yeah.
They did this through money that was put into the treasury, They then took a portion of it. They then turned it back around, and with the portion that they kept, they all paid themselves, and they also then gave to BLM and Antifa.
Oh, of course they did.
Okay, and that's another way that those two groups were funded. And of course, we all know they were out there then paying it down further down the line, basically buying contest entries.
Right.
So, it can't get any crazier than that. So here we go, Miss Yellen. Why is she?
I don't know. I, they don't see what they really don't see how silly they look after a while. Their
No, they don't.
lies and stuff. They're just like completely delusional that we can see what they're doing. It's like a kid when they close their eyes like this and just because they don't see you, they think you don't see them. That's how I feel like these people are. They're like, we see you. Wow. I want to scream. We see you. We see you.
You know what I always thought it was, D? I always thought it was them testing the waters to see how much they could get away with.
Oh boy, you're right.
The
They
more
have.
obvious, the more blatantly in your face it is, the more they know people are just dead asleep. And
Yeah.
I mean that was what the mask was. For me from the very beginning, I was like, this is really
Yeah.
not good. This is so show. I mean,
No.
it was just a visual.
Yeah,
It's
of
a
obedience,
visual
a sign of
of
slavery.
obedience. That's it. There it
Mhm.
is.
And that was what I hated about it too after a while because everybody could see it from the air who's obedient and like in the town and that is you're right. It's really scary to see that. The obedience was really strong when the farmers market people did it. I knew we were screwed when the health stores did it. I was like, wow, I really thought the health stores and the farmers market, didn't you think they were going to be like, no, that's not healthy at all.
Yeah, and the way it brought people's nasty out so fast, that was also another telltale sign.
Backers and
People,
checkers loved the control
it
that
was
they think they had
horrifying.
over you. They just ate it up. They like got off on telling people, get your you know what and put your you know what on. And maybe I'm gonna have you help me do a video one day. I want to do a video of all the people that said it to me. It's gonna be an epic reel. Let me tell you. That thing will go
Deanna,
viral.
it's like 3 days away from my 2-year anniversary of the Costco incident.
Oh, that's not good. I
Yeah,
thought you were
no, it's great because listen, I had an amazing day with Moxie today.
mm-hmm.
Because we went shopping, we went inside grocery outlet, we went in Safeway, we went to Les
Good,
Schwab, we took
good.
the and she's totally I mean, she's there. She's a service dog. She's absolutely where she needs to be to do what she
Good.
needs to do in 2 short years. That's a huge win. And yeah, it's
That's great. Man, that's good.
forget them and their double speak and their their 1984. I'm just gonna, we just got to
We're moving on, right? We're moving on.
we got to
We're
keep
gonna live
raising the frequency. That's all we can do. Oh, speaking of raising the
higher
frequency,
and higher.
Right. I agree with that 100%. So,
somebody just walked in. Well, ladies, my big hunk of a man just walked in the door, and
We're
I
second
can't,
fiddle to that
I
man. I
can't
know
wait.
that.
I
We're about to
can't wait
wrap
to
it up
tell him
soon, but
how
thanks
great
for joining
Moxie
us.
was.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
that was
Oh
absolutely
man.
wonderful time, guys. And I
Love
want
ya,
to
girl. Thanks.
you want to get dinner and stuff because we're gonna have
Yeah,
our
yeah.
meeting
Get to
tonight,
work.
right, D? We're gonna get
Yes,
together and do
ma'am.
our small group.
Betcha.
Okay, cool. Thank you,
Yeah.
Liberty Cowgirl, for such a lovely evening.
well, thank you for coming onto our panel tonight.
So
You're
much
welcome
fun.
anytime. The more the merrier. We're trying to get everybody to weigh in on this to help bring
When are
clarity.
we doing this again? We have to talk about what happens tomorrow. When are we gonna do this again?
Right. We're going to try and
We're
set
doing a
one up in a
lounge,
in a
right?
couple of days. We're going to do a
Yeah.
big lounge
Okay,
uh,
sweet. I'll keep
right
an eye
when
out
NC
this
for that.
Debs, are you
announcement comes
there?
out.
NC Debs, are you there? This is your chance, sweetie, because you can come backstage with us. We're gonna when she's done to wrap it up, we need to get to know you and have our chemistry together because this is really Liberty's show. And Power Girl,
Hey,
I love
girl.
you. Thanks for
Okay,
coming on.
guys. Love you
Thanks,
guys. Have a
Power
great
Girl.
evening.
Okay,
I love you,
Okay.
bye.
girl.
Love you,
You
girl.
rock.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
Thanks
coming.
Right.
for
Good
coming.
night. All right.
She don't want to leave, but her man's there, so you know.
And
Right. So,
We- yeah,
that's basically just all the updates. I know
right on.
somebody mentioned let's just cover one last thing, and that's Scavino's uh tweet. And evidently there's been this whole let's save Israel for last, the 17th letter of the alphabet, put
Mm.
that out there.
Oh yes,
And
yes. Mhm.
uh evidently the big T-Man is going to a gala tonight. It's what they call the ZOA, and that's the Zionist Organization of America.
Oh.
So the
Uh-huh.
the message was, and don't ask me what this means. Maybe everybody can weigh in and give their opinion. Uh,
Mm.
the message is as follows from Scavino. The Zionist Organization of America presented T with its most significant honor at its annual gala tonight, calling him, quote, the best friend Israel ever had in the White House, unquote. The ZOA rarely gives this Theodore Herzl medallion and has presented it to renowned world leaders and dignitaries like Winston Churchill.
So there is the Jewish culture people, and there is the Zionist, correct?
Uh-huh.
We have a
Right,
couple different things here, and a lot of people like to put all in one, and I do not. So I don't know what to say about it other than that.
right. And again, you know how I feel. I think we've talked several times on our show. There's a big, big distinction. I have a big problem with all these people that post all these things on social media. And mind you, I'm not even Jewish, but it's we've got to be careful about painting populations as the bad
Of
people. It's
course.
the superiors and the controllers, and we all know that the Zionists were in fact fake Jews. They disguised themselves that way as they came from Germany to disguise their
Right.
identities, and went into Israel in that respect. So you're not talking about the Jewish population when we're talking about Zionists. We're talking about a very small group of people. Yeah, and the Khazarians.
Right, right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jerry.
So that was Scavino's tweet. You know, other than that, that's all I'm keeping my eye on again. And we've got strange things happening everywhere.
Yeah, Tin, are you I know that was a lot of information. We were only going to do 45 minutes to an hour, but when you invite a bunch of ladies up here, and I hope NC Debs didn't get her feelings hurt. I've been calling for her and asked if she's here. It's really hard. Liberty Cowgirl, this is only her second or third time she's been running the stream, right? And just, it's a lot. And to have someone that's not been in with our dynamic, it's
Right. I'm
just
in
what's
charge of the
changing.
control room, NC Debs, and I
Yeah.
don't know how to do anything yet.
Well, I wasn't gonna put it that way, but she knows how to do
I'll
she
fess
knows
up.
how to do some things,
I'll
okay?
fess up.
She knows how to
I
do
don't
some
even
things, but
I don't
but
even
you
know how
know,
to give out the wrenches yet.
yeah, and
Uh,
also it's just a different show. This is a show, and then we do have fellowship time, so it's hard. Sometimes people don't understand that, but I really love NC Debs, and I hope she comes back and joins us
I
again.
love you too,
Um,
NC Debs. Thank you
Yeah,
for
and I wanted you
coming.
to come and talk with us in the back room. But when you throw somebody new in a panel of six ladies, and someone's
Right.
did a lot of work to get through a show, I just wanted to explain that. So anyway, love you, girl, and I hope you'll join us again. And please don't be offended that I had to say no. Sometimes I get told no, I don't like it. I get my feelings hurt. So I know it can happen, but love you, and we hope you come back. And we'll have you on with the Cowgirls sometime. We just got to get to have our chemistry, you know, known first, not
Right.
live for the first
No,
time.
no,
That's too scary for everybody.
right. Let me just leave on a few things here. Yeah, see, I see
Sure.
the things in the chat. I haven't even read those yet. Um uh, we need to all remember this is a worldwide operation. Everybody in this country who's on any of these streams, information streams, whether it be fellowship rooms, whether it be news broadcasts, whether it be a mixture of both in panels, tonight I'm just blessed by having some powerhouse other podcast women
Right
join
on.
me on my panel.
We were honored to be here with you.
Everybody is playing a critical role in helping
Yeah.
to save this country. And we need that to continue. We need to make sure that we get out proper and accurate information to the general public, because what we do know is that everything is now at a crescendo, so to speak, and that people are going to not only want to understand information, but they're going to need our understanding as individuals, as people are shocked into this new level of reality of this corruption that's been taking place, because
Mm-hmm.
there are still so many that just don't really know. And that's a fact. We all have relatives that are that same way. So we have to find our compassion
Yeah.
within inside of ourselves and just keep that at the forefront. But,
Yeah.
mainly
Thank
just
you,
to
Jerry. We
repeat your
love you too, honey.
yes. Love you too.
We're trying to
And
watch chat a little bit, but yeah, it was a busy show for you tonight. You did great. I had a good time. I know I was glad Tin, Bonnie, Mama T tried to show up. We love you, Mama T.
right.
I emailed Jen, Elaine, All for His Kingdom. But we're gonna do a Liberty Lounge later this week to talk about
Well, we're going to
the
have a powerhouse Liberty
yeah,
Lounge
yeah, it'll be
to
fun.
talk about
And
the big
NC Debs,
announcement.
she's on backstage. We'll let her in, and then we can maybe chat with her, or she could tell us if she wants to. You want to let her share something? Oh, you finally found me, and it's over. What? Was that why you weren't here?
Hi, Cindy.
Is NC Debs in the back room?
No, I don't see
Oh,
her at all.
she says I'm on a. Oh, she's on a backstage. Okay, honey. I love you, sweetie. We'll have a good. Maybe you could join us on Liberty Lounge. Okay, that
Yeah,
would be
we'll
fun.
get her on the
But
next show,
you
Liberty
come on
Lounge.
my show in the morning tomorrow, NC Debs. Come on, talk with me.
Right.
I'll have you on. I
Hey,
dropped
if
the
there's
link
one thing we
today.
have, plenty of shows for people to
Yeah,
appear
plenty of
on.
shows. We love you, girl. Thank you for responding. You're a sweetheart. Okay, love it. Jen, I sent you
Well, I
the
just
link.
want to.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any last thoughts? What are your last thoughts for today? Let's just go around. Final
I have.
thoughts?
It couldn't be my last one of the day, but I think I've given enough thoughts. I just love y'all so much, and I had a great time. And I want to thank you guys for coming and supporting the Cowgirls and being a cowgirl and doing your show. Tin, you guys remember, please subscribe to Tin's channel. Bonnie's channel is always talking about community and unity and those kind of things. So, and Tin, you guys, everyone knows Tin. Do I really need to give her an introduction? You know, she puts on a good show, you guys. So that's my outro. I love y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight. I love hanging out with y'all. I have a great time. And I say y'all a lot more when I wear my cowgirl hat.
Right.
Tin, are you there, honey?
Yeah, I just told
Bonnie. Sorry, Bonnie.
like my final thoughts, or I don't know, because like my final thoughts get channels in trouble. I mean, I even got
I
my
know.
phone.
I was gonna say, when you figure out where you're gonna stream, do you know where you're gonna stream tonight? On whose channel?
I don't know. My
Okay.
brain's spinning right now. I
She's
can't.
too much. We'll pass on you again. No, just kidding.
Pass on me. Sorry.
Just kidding. Bonnie, take us home, honey.
Bless her heart.
I love you, Tin.
I love you.
Yeah.
We
I love
just
you. It
we need
sucks. I know.
to stand in unity. We need to
Yes.
keep revealing all these things and just hang in there. We cannot we can't let it get to us. We start getting depressed. If you start getting frustrated, find your peaceful place, get in it as much as you can. Turn to God always, but
Always.
and take care of yourselves.
Drink lots of
Mentally,
water.
physically, yes.
Good water.
We got to be good to handle this, and I hate to say fight the fight, but just
The good fight. Keep fighting the good fight, right? We
yes,
love. We love when we fight. We're not hating when we fight. We're fighting the
absolutely.
good fight.
But I need
Never
to
give up.
run. Thank you so much, Liberty Cowgirl, for having me.
Oh, we want you all the time, Bonnie. And listen, our hearts and our
Yeah.
love and prayers are with your mama.
Yep.
That she starts to feel better. I want to
Mhm.
thank all of you, ladies. I'm just honored that you came on to the Liberty Cowgirl Network and you're in support of me at all times. I think,
Yes.
like I said, you ladies to me are just the example of what America needs to see. And you inspire so many that you don't even know uh, to get up, get moving, and get going in their own communities. So I commend each and every one of you. And Tin TV, while you're down, you can be a special guest on my show as many times
Yeah,
as you
10.
want.
We'll have you everywhere. We love you,
Oh, thank
10. It's
you.
Yes,
time for you to get around and mingle anyway. A little
Yeah,
more.
because I want to help it. I want to help build other channels. It's not just
You
about
yes.
always
this channel.
do.
The
You always
channel,
do.
all of our
You're
channels
awesome at that.
join together.
Yes,
So
you
You're
always
welcome to
do.
read your
Follow.
reports anytime on mine.
Yes,
Right.
10. We
Well,
got
you're
you,
down.
girl.
You're welcome on our network anytime you want to go on, girl. You just let me know.
thanks, you guys.
We love you, 10. Don't be sad for too
Yes,
long.
we
But
love you.
be good and angry. Be angry and sin not, right? You could be angry about it. They did you an injustice and you already went through all your 5 stages, but we always got your back and we'll always fire up anybody's wherever you want to go. You want to go on? Okay, let's go. I'm
Thanks.
always down for a stream. You all know that. Jen, Mama T,
Yeah.
anybody that wants to stream, I'm always down.
Yeah,
And
we all know Cowgirl D is not camera shy.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. NC Debs, Camo Carl, Cindy, and all you people who come in, Jerry Lee, and all the rest.
Much
Thank you
appreciated.
for your support. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you guys in a couple days for the next report. And probably a Liberty Lounge with an all star panel of ladies. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
good night,
Pump that
everyone.
positivity.
We love ya.